What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the final video of 2020, and today we have a top 5 boot releases for the year to wrap up 2020 and head into 2021. What's going on, everybody? Mike McIntyre here from All Things Sports. Thank you for stopping by. As always, before we begin, please hit that subscribe button. We need to get this channel bigger. We're wrapping up the year. We're heading into 2021. I think you'll all join me in saying we want a better year next year. 2020 was a year to forget, to say the least, but we're going to wrap up the year with the last video of the year, and we'll talk about the top 5 boots that were released in 2020. So, strap yourselves in and let's go. Let's start off with a few honorable mentions. To begin, I want to give the Puma Future 6.1 a boot I literally just reviewed a few days ago. I want to give that an honorable mention. I'm a huge fan of the Puma Future. The 5.1 and the 6.1 were basically the same boot, but that new pink colorway that dropped a couple of weeks ago that I reviewed a few days ago is, in my opinion, a fantastic boot. I love the colorway, so I can't squeeze it in my top 5, but it's definitely up there, so it gets an honorable mention. The new Adidas Memory Lane pack that just dropped. I wasn't able to get my hands on them, but I'm throwing those in as well just because I thought they were really cool. We got a bunch of old Adizero colorways on the new X sole plate, and I thought it was a fun release. It was a cool release. We got a bunch of different colorways. One of my favorites were the Prime, the old Adidas Adizero Prime that were the Gen 2 version of the F50 Adizero, and those looked really, really good. I have one more boot that I want to bring up just because it was released yesterday, and I'm going to be doing a video on them, but because it's so late in the year and we haven't really been able to see them, I can't put them in the top 5. But the Predator Absolute remakes. I love the Predator Absolute. Huge fan of that boot. One of my all-time favorite Predators. The fact that we get a remake at the end of 2020 is exciting. It was a boot that I really hoped they were going to remake because of all the remakes that we've got in the last few years. So I'm super stoked to see those, but because I haven't had them yet, I can't put them in the top 5. So those get an honorable mention. Let's get into the top 5 boots. Now, number 5 was a brand new boot for the year. It replaced the Phantoms. It's the Phantom GT, specifically in that white, black, and pink colorway. I'm a huge fan of them. I did a review on that boot. I thought it was a good move from Nike, taking 2 Phantoms. I never thought there should be 2 different Phantoms in the first place. Take the Phantoms, combine them into one boot. It has that kind of modern feel, speed boot-like kind of feel to it, even though it's not really a pure speed boot. It's got a good upper on it. It has a really good fit to it, so a lot of different people can get into it. And I thought it was a good move from Nike to take those 2 Phantoms, smash them into one boot, and create the Phantom GT. And it seems to be quite popular among the pros. So the Phantom GT, specifically in that white, pink, and black colorway. The launch colorway, which is my personal favorite, that is number 5 of my boot releases in 2020. Number 4 was a really cool boot from a kind of technological standpoint. The green Adidas X Ghosted that dropped in November. They were a fantastic boot. I never did a review on that specific colorway, but I did do a review on the X Ghosted when they dropped in the summer. And from a technical standpoint, they're really, really impressive. The upper on those things is like nothing else on the market. They're super thin. I would argue that the upper itself is probably the best upper material to create a speed boot out of. If you want the thinnest boot, the lightest boot, the fastest boot, that is definitely probably the best upper. There are a few little drawbacks about it that I kind of nitpicked in my review video. If you want to check that out, you can click up here and go find it. But overall, that was a hugely popular colorway, and it seemed like they were almost impossible to get your hands on for a general release. So it spoke volumes about the boot itself. So that green X Ghosted comes in at number 4. Number 3 is the Puma Ultra. I really like this boot, and I'm putting it in ahead of the Ghosted for one reason, and that's because it fits my foot better than the X Ghosted. Again, this is my top 5 video, but the Puma Ultra 1 is a really, really good boot. It's a speed boot, it's light, it's quick, it has everything that you want from a speed boot. It has a nice modern fit, but it fits more feet than the X. It fits a wide variety of different foot types. The X is really, really specific, and that was kind of my nitpicks with it. The Ultra is a really good speed boot, very good upper, and it fits a lot more people compared to the X. So that's why I put it in at number 3 in my top 5 boots of 2020, specifically the pink and black colorway that came out in October, I believe. So we're coming in at number 2. Number 2 for 2020 was a tough one in my opinion because it is an Adidas Predator. The Adidas Predator 20 that dropped in January of 2020 came out in a black, red, and white colorway, classic Predator colors, and it looked really, really good. But then fast forward to October, and they dropped the Human Race collaboration Adidas Predator 20 Plus, and those were incredible. I did a review video on those. They were fantastic. They kind of pulled from the old accelerators of 1998. Classic colors, red, white, and black Predator. It looked phenomenal, and the 20 Plus overall, that Predator, I'm a huge fan of it. I wish it was just a little bit wider, but overall, I'm a huge fan of the Predator, and I thought it was an amazing boot. And that Human Race collaboration, throwing it back to 1998 with the accelerator colorways in the OG colors, was a fantastic release from Adidas. They killed it with that one. So that comes in at number 2. That leaves us with the number 1 boot of 2020. So I'm gonna cheat here. I couldn't decide which one. These 2 boots for me are at the top for 2 different reasons, really. Number 1 is the classic Adidas remake that came out in March, the Adidas Mania remake. Those were fantastic, arguably the best Predator of all time. They came out in a really nice blue and red colorway. I just couldn't not put it on the list. I couldn't leave it out. I had to throw that one on the list. It is a fantastic boot, classic Predator, someone that grew up with Predators like me. You know, we just want those Manias back at all times, and they were amazing. 1-to-1 upper on a new modern sole plate that made the boot light. They fit fantastic, and overall, it was just a fantastic boot, and I couldn't not put it on the list. So that's why it comes in at a tie with the Mizuno Morelia Neo 3s. Now, I'm a massive fan of the Adidas, no, not the Adidas. I'm a massive fan of the Mizuno Morelia Neo, and they came out with a new silo, well, new model, I should say, a replacement. For the first time in years, the Morelia Neo 3 came out, and when Mizuno drops a new boot, it's because it's better than the old one. Now, I haven't had the opportunity, unfortunately, to get my hands on that new Mizuno Morelia Neo 3, but the Morelia Neo 2 was my favorite boot of all time. It is the best boot on the market, period, in my opinion. If you've watched my videos for a long time, you know that I rave about that Morelia Neo. And the Morelia Neo 3 comes out, and I think it looks even better than that Morelia Neo 2. I think it is the best boot on the market. So that is why that one comes in at number 1. So there you have it. My top 5 boots of 2020. Let me know what you guys think. Give me your top 5. Leave that down below in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, please smash it with a like. I hope you guys have a fantastic 2021. We're hoping for bigger and better things in 2021. I'll catch you guys in the new year. Mike McIntyre, All Things Sports, signing off for now. Peace.